Yay! Let me warmly welcome you back to the second part of learning about the 15 headline weaknesses others take advantage of. Would you prefer always to be giving without ever expecting to get as much back in return? Or maybe you've realized that others are benefiting from your obedience. This video goes into more detail of those sneak traps that can sabotage your self-improvement and growth. So, if you are interested in learning how to protect yourself and start building a better life, you can do it after reading these lessons. And are you ready to discover how people might be crossing the line in your life? So let's start and help you take back your story. The expectations of people, especially in the modern society, make it feel like the right thing to do is to be the errand person. But for some, this role translates to a babysitter whom one would spend time alternating with being emotionally exhausted. How about always being the one who takes care of everyone, and then one day you are the one in need of assistance? This is like doing an ultramarathon without ever getting an opportunity to take a break halfway through. Well, and as far as one's always helpful and ready to help others, who is in turn helping or being there for one? This can cause burnout, and that is why one needs to set a bound on the kind of image you want to portray. After all, the concept of self-improvement means that you pay attention to your own needs before you can pay attention to others' needs. Avoidance of conflict is always a very thin ice to skate upon. In this case, the belief that by not quarreling you are actually avoiding turmoil and allowing others to cross the line all the time. Picture this: a friend steals your idea in a group project, then presents it to the class, and instead of protesting you refrain from doing so. Over a while, this creates exploitation, and your efforts are never compensated rightly. One must appreciate the fact that being assertive does not mean being aggressive, but it means being assertive as a result of one's self-worth. Therefore, next time you are overwhelmed with differing views in a relationship, don't be alarmed. Resolving conflicts is the pathway to a better life, and in social relations too. Another key ingredient that one can take into a high-performance drive, yet nobody notices, is low self-esteem. When people underestimate themselves, they always provide a way and opening for anyone with an intention towards exploiting them in the most unholy ways possible. Think about it. How much worth do you expect to have if you don't even believe in yourself? It is also evident how this mindset nearly paralyzes career advancement, both in terms of interpersonal and working relations. For example, a man with low self-esteem may avoid writing letters of application in an organization because he may not be promoted due to rejection. To this, I suggest using self-affirmations or finding a role model. It is also good to surround yourself with positive people who will encourage you and make you build your own confidence to transform your future and be in a position to embrace the future and bask in the glory of being on your own success. That is, the mere incorporation of negative appraisal labels such as sensitive or weak can feed back into a virtual cycle of self-fulfillment. The moment you begin accepting these perceptions as the real thing, it is easy for others to disregard or take advantage of your emotions. Better yet, picture someone letting you know that you are too emotional to be assigned a leadership position. At some point, you begin to doubt your competency. A compensate of this belief may be lack of energy resources to take advantage of favorable circumstances and ability to avoid aggression at certain moments. It is important to change the perception as they label you instead of embracing it as who you are. It is high time you manage your sensitiveness, as that is an equal boon as having a high IQ in every line of work. An understanding of one's value helps you to turn potential pitfalls to one's advantage. As would be expected, social interactions, especially where the guidelines pertaining to courteous treatment are not well understood, can be complex. If you are not quite sure how people should interact with you, then it is rather difficult to determine who is being abusive or invasive. It may create a vicious circle in which a person accepts significantly less than they deserve, that the action influences their self-esteem and their ability to rise after failures. For example, if your friend always lords it over you and cancels plans at the last moment, chances are you will compare it to other friends and accept it. Unfortunately, this is often the case, but to rectify this you should spend some time setting your boundaries and explaining them to others. Knowledge on the self/better life. Self and or relationship education prepares you to demand respect, and that prepares you for better life. Sins of the past are always a sore thumb, either in form of being reminded by society to pay for our sins, or by society using such to demoralize us, to bring us to our knees. When you accept these mistakes to be part of who you are, then it becomes very easy for someone to influence your feelings and actions. Imagine that there is a person who decided to remind you of a mistake you made in some important meeting, you start doubting yourself at once. In order to counteract this, it should be imperative for one to see errors that he or she made in previous projects as only learning processes. Look back and evaluate yourself and the changes you have made from that time forward. Such experiences can be dealt with or contained through self-reflection or journaling of the events that happened around you. It's important to know that nobody is perfect. The important thing is to learn from your mistakes and move forward to a praising future. Success might be the worst thing to happen to an individual at person level. As you work hard and produce excellent results, you might attract jerks who are just out there waiting to ride on your back. Now think of getting a dream job. People who used to call, text, congratulate, and hang out with you are nowhere to be found until they wanted something from you. Such a dynamic may put pressure and evoke feelings of loneliness. This is really important. People should be happy when you are successful, and not just hoping to gain from your success. Reflect on joining a group of people with the same goal or going for a professional group meant for similar purposes. If you cultivate genuine relationships, you will not only protect your success, but create the foundation for even more success in the future. This final part of the second installment of our Exploring Revealed Weaknesses series is where the rubber meets the road. It is time to do something. What am I going to do today to protect my self-worth and say no to things that I don't want to do? Bear in mind, to know is not to apply the knowledge learned. Knowledge is only good when it has been put to use. Ponder over the lesson learned so far and ponder over ways in which the lessons learned can enhance one's life. Are you ready to free yourself from the stories others have put you in and start living your own life? This is just the first step to your journey to achieving resilience and personal success. Remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay updated on these crucial topics we are discussing. Everybody, let's get started and start working towards a better future together.